In a similar way, every single human being is born with a bad spirit. In nature, it is from the nation of jinn. We cannot see them with the naked eye. It is pretty abstract living creature. Today I'm going to discuss with you the lower self, the negative psyche of man. In Sufi terminology, the lower self is called nafs. And also in Kabbalah, the Jewish spirituality, they also call it nafs. Most of the Christian literature has been translated into English. That's why we do not have such words in Christian literature anymore. However, the Jews still stick to their language. Most of the Kabbalah work is still in Hebrew. There is a confusion among Westerners about the self, and this confusion is due to lack of spiritual knowledge. And it's very strange that they know selflessness is greatly appreciated, and at the same time, if you promote self-love, they understand ego is a negative trait. But then they also give ego a positive connotation, which surprises me. But I'm not surprised anymore, because I have concluded that this is the result of lack of knowledge. This is why there is this confusion. To be honest with you, in all 36 years of my association with His Holiness Sarkar Gohar Shahi, the most difficult phase in spirituality is cleansing of the lower self, the negative psyche. Nothing else in spirituality is difficult. This is why in the traditional brand of Sufism, opening of the heart was subjected to cleansing of the lower self first. So back in the day, they were aware of the enormity of the lower self, how crucial and how difficult it is to cleanse the lower self. Before we came into this world, the lower self was never part of our being. And after we leave this world, the lower self will not come with us. The origin of man is Alam-e Malakut. This is where Adam was created. His body was made with the soil from paradise. And when the statue of Adam had been created, then God breathed into the body and it came to life. Jesus did the similar thing during his 33 months of ministry. His ministry lasted only 33 months. And this is what Jesus did. The nature of the miracles that Jesus worked during his time on earth was extraordinary. And the miracles that he worked had so much impact on the people who witnessed it that they were in no position to denounce the divine side of Jesus Christ. Because he would make statues of birds with soil, and he would breathe into them and they would fly. And this is exactly what happened in paradise when God created Adam. Only if people had spiritual knowledge and the secrets of God, they would appreciate the person of Jesus more. Today, Christians believe that Jesus is Son of God. To my own understanding, it is not enough to respect Jesus, to just simply call him a Son of God. The way Jesus behaved, no other messenger or prophet or saint of God behaved the same way. As it is mentioned in Christian literature, justice hasn't been done when they wrote about Jesus, especially the temptations, when they say Jesus was fallen to temptations. That is not true. Temptations only tempt somebody who has a negative psyche in him. Temptations can only affect on those who have negative psyche in them. But Jesus Christ was somebody who had nothing to do with anybody. Although he was born by a human being, Mother Mary, but he was a small little nascent baby when people were giving Mother Mary hard time, and they were asking her, "Who is this baby? Where did you bring him from? Who is the father of the baby?" And the Mother Mary was so emotionally down. She said, "Ask the baby, why are you asking me?" And people said, "Are you crazy? You think the baby will reply? What are you hiding? Why don't you come clean?" And while Jesus was still a baby of few days, Jesus spoke in the cradle. No messenger out of 124,000 did what Jesus did. So there are a lot of things that we need to understand before we're able to comment on spiritual, divine dignitaries like Jesus Christ. We are going to discuss this very, very important dark side of human beings. It is a dark side. It is the only setback of being a human being. It is the only setback of being a human being. The reason why I call it a setback, first, God said a human being is far greater than angels. And then this negative psyche was attached with human beings. While the positive psyche of man was dormant, and negative psyche of man was kept alive. So the real characteristics of a human being never came to the surface. They have been overshadowed by negative psyche. This is why man doesn't behave like a man. Sometimes man is worse than devil, and sometimes man is greater than angels. Why there is a massive difference among men. One man is worse than a devil and the other man is greater than angels. This massive difference, this massive gap is due to the fact that those who elevated their higher self and cleansed their lower self, they thrived in getting to the bottom of their nature, and they rose from their lower self to their higher self, and they witnessed their origin. They witness their reality in the mirror of their heart. Negative psyche is like a bad spirit. If you have read Bible, you should know Jesus Christ used to cast out bad spirits. People who were possessed by a bad spirit, Jesus used to cast them out. In a similar way, every single human being is born with a bad spirit. In nature, it is from the nation of jinn. We cannot see them with the naked eye. It is pretty abstract living creature, but we feel it. The reason why a bad spirit is attached with a human being, because that bad spirit is the citizen of this solar system. And we are sort of aliens in this world. This solar system is not our origin. We migrated according to the divine plan. And this migration took place not too long ago, maximum 7,000 years ago. We're special human beings. We're not normal human beings. Man existed before us. We are the progeny of the last Adam. I was studying Torah a few days ago, and I was really surprised. Even the Torah mentions the fact that we are the progeny of the last Adam. Even Torah. And I was really surprised when I read those lines, like Sarkar said, when God had created the souls, He assembled them and He asked them, and then He displayed luxuries of the world, luxuries of the paradise. The same stuff is in Torah. So God created 14,000 different species of Adam. 14,000 different species of Adam. Sometimes Adam was just a male, and some other times Adam was name of a pair, like Adam and Eve. Adam himself is not complete Adam without Eve. Adam himself is not complete Adam without Eve. But in the past, from the prehistoric species of Adam. There were some species of Adam. So Adam actually is not one prophet. Adam is a nation of Adams. So sometimes Adam would be just one person, a male. And sometimes Adam would be a woman. In the West, some people ask, what is the divine gender? Is God male or is God female? Now, if we consult with the Quran and Ahadith, you will definitely say God is male. But tell me, the female Adam who came to this world million years ago and who believed in him or in her, what would they assume? Whether God was a female or God was a male? Because God's representation came to them in form of a female. So they would definitely assume God was a female because their messenger was a female. And then on top of that, those Adams who came in form of a female, they would also produce children without a man touching them. They would become conceived through the archangel Gabriel. When he would carry God's command, God would say, be, and it would be. This is how the female Adams would conceive the children. And after their departure, it became customary in those progenies of female Adam that their women would, develop intimate sexual relationship with any man before marriage, produce children, and they wouldn't mind it because they would think this is coming from God. Now, all those different species of Adam, they were not alien to this world. They were created here, right here, in this world. They did not have the knowledge of eminence. They didn't share the secrets of God. They were pretty local. But then in the end, almost 7,000 years ago, if you read Quran, you will find out that many times God was fed up with human beings. There is a mention of different nations in the Quran that God destroyed. The nation of Thamud and the nation of Lut, the prophet Lot, so many nations were destroyed because God was not happy with them. Maybe I am justified to say that 13,999 different species of Adam were just the divine experiments. Before us, the world was a place of experiments. And the show started after we arrived in this world. The show was declared to be official after our arrival into this world. The reason why God needed to create the last Adam in the paradise was the fact that those previous Adams who were created in this world with the soil hereof, they were so attached with this system, they were so attached with this universe that they would not think of the life hereafter. They would think, this is what it is. This is life. There is no other life. So becoming lost in temptations and this unstoppable urge of making their terrestrial life flourish and ignoring the life hereafter was pretty easy for them because it was in their nature, because they were created here in this world with the soil of this world. Then God decided to create the last Adam in paradise with the soul from there, so that the soul of paradise should pull him back towards the life hereafter. Do you get my point? So it became nature, part of our nature, that we don't belong here. Now that was the trick. The last Adam was then created in paradise. For example, you're visiting United States of America. You live in Pakistan, India, or England, but you're visiting United States of America, and your wife delivers a baby in USA. So the baby will automatically be citizen of United States of America. You come back to India, Pakistan, or England, the baby, as she grows, will say, I'm American. My country is America. I don't like England. Why? It is in the soil. If you were born in America and you develop so much attachment with America, what if you had the soil of paradise in you? This is why everybody wants to go to paradise. Even though they want to kill everybody, but they want to go to paradise. This is the reason why we have so much thoughts of paradise on our heads. Because it's natural. because we were created in paradise. So that was the reason. We were created in the paradise and then we were sent here. If we live here, we will never feel acquainted with this solar system. And we would always be homesick. We would always be thinking of going back to our homeland. In order to serve this thing, God attached a bad spirit from this world inside every human being, so that you do not feel homesick with the attachment of the negative psyche. Your heart is clung